Alright, all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, for allowing me to make this very video. Yahweh being the true name of the Most High, Bahashem meaning the name of, and Yahweh Shai being the true name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Alright, a dark-skinned man with white and woolly hair coming back to violently remove Esau, Edom, the so-called white man out of power, which, this video is going to be right about that nigga, man, the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, man. Alright? And basically, I don't know what I'm going to entitle it. I was thinking about some titles. I've really been trying to be more careful concerning my titles because I'm tired of getting struck. All right, that's why I had to make a second YouTube page in the first goddamn place, which they're shadow banning me. Like, fuck on that. So it's practically like I'm not even on YouTube, but hey, it is what it is, man. But nonetheless, basically this video I wanted to jump into Obadiah, the first chapter, because, this was something that when I was out there in the highways earlier, I had my NIV Bible on me. And basically, as I was reading, I noticed that, because it was like a study Bible, so, sometimes, there's like little notes at the side. And I basically, these fucking scholars are, man, they're so confused, man. Which would make sense because, most likely they got the Edomites, so they don't have the understanding of the scriptures. All right. But nonetheless, they're confused. Right. In the, in the side note, it mentioned how basically... It mentioned how the fucking Edomites disappeared from history or from being a nation after 70 AD. Which, what the fuck is that? Because then at the same time, right? At the same time, the scholars also say, which you got a lot of Christians following after these blind ass scholars, also say that, the closest history to the fulfillment of Obadiah 1, because every time, you ask somebody about when was Obadiah 1 fulfilled, because this is what they're trying to say now, which has not been fulfilled. Right? When you ask them, the only history they could really give you, is the history of John Hyrcanus, Judaizers and Israelites. But that was way before 70 AD. So which one is it, man? And then again, we can rip and run through that. I'm not going to get into all that. But I want to get into Obadiah, the first chapter, the entire chapter, verse 1 to the last verse. All right? And this has not happened yet. None of it. All right? Now, if you do some digging, basically Obadiah, was you have different scholars debating about when it was written. But, most likely, especially, since how it's written, right? And, the events that Obadiah talked about, most likely it was written after the, Babylonian exile, man, 586 BC. All right. And Obadiah was basically really the Most High through Obadiah was basically condemning the Edomites. All right. And, the Edomites today are so-called Caucasian people. All right. So-called white man and a white woman. All right. And this prophecy, well, let's get into it, right? It's concerning them. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 1, the vision of Obadiah. Thus saith Yahweh concerning Edom. Okay, now you did have a pussy ass nigga, a scholar, Edomite, a 48 person, right? And this was way back then, probably like I forgot what time frame, probably like the 1600s. I forgot his name too, which is a good thing. Basically, this idiot was talking about Esau or Edom represents all enemy nations of Israel. Nope, that's bullshit, right? Because when the Most High speaks, he speaks concerning a nation, right? Because then, you have to explain to me how the fucking Jeremiah 49 and how the hell in Ezekiel 25, the Most High pronounced judgment on 3 to 4 different nations separately, man. So again, you don't know what you're talking about. This is Jeremiah 18 and verse 7. At what instant I shall speak concerning a nation, and concerning a kingdom to pluck up and to pull down and to destroy it, if that nation against whom I pronounce turn from their evil, I will repent of the evil that I thought to do unto them. See that? Verse 9. And what instant I shall speak concerning a nation and concerning a kingdom to build up and to plant it. Verse 10. If it do evil in my sight that obey not my voice, then I said I will repent of the good, or I said I will benefit them. See that? So what's the point of me reading this? The Most High speaks concerning nations, man. Concerning a nation. When the Most High pronounces judgment, it's concerning a nation, which is what a nation is, a group of people, man. Right? So when you go to Obadiah chapter 1, concerning who? And we see this in Jeremiah 49, man. Let me give you an example. It's sad that we have to do this, but there's so many damnable heresies walking these streets. Jeremiah 49 verse 1. Concerning who? The Ammonites. So he's pronouncing judgment on the Ammonites. Thus saith Yahweh, have Israel no sons? Hath he no heir? Why then doeth their king inherit Gad, and his people dwell in his cities? Jump down to verse 7, right? Concerning Edom, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? All right, let's jump down to verse 23. Concerning Damascus, Hamath is confounded in Arpad, for they have heard evil tidings. They are faint-hearted, there is sorrow on the sea, it cannot be quiet. See that? Verse 28. Concerning Kedar. So we get the point, right? The Most High pronounced judgment on 6 different nations, man, in Jeremiah 49. So what the fuck are you talking about? So we go back to Obadiah chapter 1, the vision of Obadiah. Thus saith Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai concerning Edom. Who we're talking about? The literal Edomites. Okay? We have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made you small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. See, the Edomites are small among the heathen, especially those 48 people, man. Everybody hates them, man. They've been getting kicked out of nations. France, goddamn Russia, you know. They've been getting kicked out of different nations. England, going back to the goddamn 1200s, man. They were expelled out of many different nations, man, especially in Europe. Their own goddamn people, right? You know, you got the Edomites, but there's different, you know, so-called white people. But they're different, you know, clans of them and tribes. Like a Russian person and a Russian person and I guess you could say somebody from Iceland. They're, you know, they're Edomites. You know, they're just, I guess you could say, from different tribes, I guess you could say. But they're still Edomites, man. Right? So, you know, behold, I made you small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. So you see, so Esau Edom is hated by everyone, man. Everybody hates their own people hate them, man. Their own people, you know, you go on the Clock app, their own people are complaining about their system, man. You know, everybody hates the fucking so-called white man, the Edomites. All right, but especially the 48 people, they're the most hated, right? The 48 people, man. All right, which you know what the 48 people is, right? These are the 48 people, man. The black hats, right? The IRL people. Okay, you can't say their name because you will get struck. All right, but so they are the most despised. All right, behold, verse 2 again. I made you small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. Right? Everybody hates Esau Edom. Everybody hates the 48 people, man. All right, even their own people. Verse 3. The pride of your heart have deceived you, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Right, because Esau Edom, they dwell in Mount Seir, which is like a mountainous region, man. They are the original cave dwellers. The term Caucasian literally means, it goes back to the Caucasus Mountains, man. Right? Pretty sure it means cave dweller. So, again, all right, and I mean actually do that, right? Etymology, the word Caucasian. Etymology, word Caucasian. Okay, they call themselves Caucasian people. Esau tells on themselves constantly, man. You know? See that? Caucasus Mountain, man, because they are the original cave dweller, man. Right? Okay. Here we got what we needed, though. All right? But they're the original cave dwellers, man. All right? And that's in Job, the 30th chapter. The pride of thine heart hath deceived you. So we know the Edomites are the so-called fucking white man. Right? They're the hairiest, goddamn most red people on the earth. You know? And they're vile. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart and his mind, who shall bring me down to the ground? Right? Esau Edom has a proud mindset. He thinks that his kingdom, especially through his technology and his 5G and his nanotechnology, he thinks that his fucking kingdom gonna be running forever, man. And that's what he's trying to do. Hence why, you know, they're doing this shit they're doing with goddamn, you know, the RFID chip, man. These people are trying to reach immortality. These people are trying to be like the Most High. You know, they want to have control over humanity, man. You know, so again, they're proud, man. They are the proud of the scriptures, the pride of the scriptures, man. No, excuse me, they are the proud of the scriptures. You know, so most likely when you're reading about the proud, you can apply that to Esau Edom. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle. See that? So the eagle is, the Edomites logo, man, because there's other prophecies that represent it, that's talking about the Edomites, and it also talks about the eagle, man. So the eagle, that's, symbolic for, the Edomites. That's their slogan right there, their logo, right? That the Most High stamped on their back. That's their logo right there, man. They're consistently compared to an eagle. When you go to Jeremiah 49, Ezekiel 17, at 2nd Ezra 11, they're always compared to an eagle. Deuteronomy 28 and 49, right? When Moses prophesied that an eagle would come and basically, besiege Jerusalem. Who the fuck, how would that prophesy? In the besieging in 70 AD, which were the Romans, Edomites. Okay, where scholars are saying the Edomites disappeared from being the people after 70 AD. Bullshit, nigga. You tell me they just poofed off the earth, right? Fuck out of here, man. Then you can't say Obadiah 1 was fulfilled then. So they just vanished. 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, Esau at the end of the world. So stop playing, man. But anyway, so the eagle, that's their, that's their logo right there. And though thou set thy nest among the stars, right? And that's talking about his NASA program, so-called white man's NASA program. Thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, right? So the Most High going to bring them down. That's going to be through Yahweh Shai, right? A quick precept that comes to my mind, Isaiah 63, right? I don't remember the verse, but that chapter is basically, that prophecy is about Yahweh Shai coming back and destroying the fucking Edomites, man, destroying their kingdom, right? And what did Yahweh Shai said? I will bring their strength down to the earth, man. See that? So they will be brought down. Verse 5. If thieves came to you, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to you, would they not leave some grapes? Right? And let's read that in the NLT. Right? Verse 5. In the NLT, if thieves came that night and robbed you, what a disaster awaits you. They would not take, and that's in parentheses. They would not take everything. Those who harvest grapes always leave a few for the poor, right? So the same way how when a thief breaks into a house, they don't take literally everything. They only take, until they have enough. And, it wouldn't even be able to possibly, it wouldn't be possible to take literally everything, right? But your enemies will wipe you completely out. See that? That's what verse 5 is saying. So thieves, when they break in a house, they don't typically take everything. It's impossible. But you, O Esau, I'm going to make sure your enemies take you flat the fuck out, man. See that? Ooh. Let's keep going, right? Verse 6. That was verse 5, right? Verse 6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Right. And Esau, he tried to hide a lot of things. He tried to hide our identity, right? Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and the Americas, and scattered through the four corners of the earth. He tried to hide our identity, man. Right? By, concealing the truth. Whitewashing history, rewriting the shit his own way. Got those goddamn 48 people claiming to be the Israelites. When we are the Israelites, them niggas clinging on to our laws, statutes, and traditions in our land, claiming to be us, when they're not us, man. Right? So how the hidden things of East, he tried to hide his own goddamn identity, man. Calling himself white and Caucasian, all these different covering casts that he put over himself, man. Was that term white came out in the 1600s, man. Okay? So again, but this man's revealed, right? And Paul talked about that in 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter. The man of sin will be revealed in his time. The man of sin is talking about Esau, Edom, man. Right? And he has been revealed, and his time is right now. Because remember, Esau's the end of the world, man. Are we not in the end of the goddamn world right now? Okay then, man. And who's ruling? The goddamn white man. Right? And who's ruling? Pull out a dollar bill and see whose face is on it, nigga. That same dollar bill you pull out, I promise you, is the world trade currency, man. The U.S. dollar. That's who's ruling, nigga. The wicked, which are the Edomites. The Esau is the end of the world, man. You can't make this up. If you can't see the Edomites, the so-called white man, and there's other ways we can prove that to a prophecy, but just that by itself, if you can't see that, nigga, you just blind, man. Okay? So yeah, how are the things that Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up, man? So everything this nigga tried to hide, but about everything, really, man. History, himself, us, even the little dirt that he do on the inside. Epstein Island, these different, high governmental politicians and officials doing, dirt behind closed doors. All the drinking of the blood, PDF-ism, child sacrifice. These people worship fucking Molech, and they have a these fucking Edomites, man, which we know are the rulers of this world. They have a fucking disgusting obsession with Egypt, man. They really do. you gotta do the research. These people have a nasty obsession with ancient Egypt, man. The idols of ancient Egypt, right? The mannerism of ancient Egypt. Nigga, they have an Egyptian period on the fucking dollar bill. You know? So again, they have a nasty obsession with Egypt, man. See? So again, you know, how the things that Esau searched out and how the hidden things are sought up, man. So his hidden things are sought up, man. He's found out, man. He's revealed. We know he's the Edomites, man. And he's trying to get out of it, man. But you can't do nothing against the truth, man. The truth shall be declared, man. Okay? So again, and specifically to answer that question, right? Zechariah 4:7, through the Spirit of the Most High, man. Because the Most High will reveal all things. You know? That's how the hidden things of Esau are searched out, man. Through the Spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, which is operating on the earth today. Through the elect. Okay? Simple, point blank, and clear. All right? This motherfucker is revealed, man. Verse 7. All the men of thy, and I'll get a quick precept too, right? I'll get a quick precept. Most High shall bring into judgment every work. Okay? Ecclesiastes. Right? And don't forget Yahushai. He said there's no hidden thing that shall not be revealed, right? You're pretty sure you know that precept. You should know that. There's no thing that shall not be revealed. Right? Ecclesiastes 12:14. For the Most High shall bring every work into judgment. See that? With every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. And we know for Esau, Edom is only evil because he's the man of sin. He was created to be evil. He can't be righteous, man. That's Isaiah 26:10 right there. The Edomites, which are the wicked, they can't be righteous, man. The Most High gonna bring every work into judgment, man, whether with every secret thing. So that's how the secret things that Esau, Edom is searched out, man. Okay? His hidden things. Right? Through the Spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because again, there's nothing covered that shall not be revealed, just like Yahushua said. That's in the book of Matthew, Mark. Verse 7, Obadiah 1:7. All the men of thy confederacy, right? Which a confederacy, when you go into the Hebrew, is like a covenant, a union, a gathering, right? All the men of thy confederacy have brought you even to the border. The men that were at peace with you have deceived you, right? What's it getting into? Basically, if you're familiar with Revelation 17, all Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, all his allies right now, all the nations that are allied with him right now, you know, through NATO and, you know, whatever other deals this nigga may have, they're going to turn on him, man, and shoot nuclear missiles over here and destroy America, destroy his kingdom, right? Or at least the capital of his kingdom, man. See that? They're going to turn on him, man, and prevail against you. They that eat your bread have laid a wound under you. When you go to the Hebrew word, which is so important, why do you have to go into your words? You're not going to understand what it's saying unless you go into the Hebrew word, the Greek word from time to time. Right? Let's read that again. They that eat your bread have laid a wound under you. When you go into the Hebrew word for wound, right? It literally means trap, snare. Okay? They that eat your bread have laid a trap under you. See that? There is none understanding in him. Right? Esau, Edom has no idea. There's no understanding. He has no idea, you know, about the trap that's set right under him, man, right? Let's read that in NLT. All right? And notice how it says all the men of thy confederacy, right? So all the men of Esau, Edom's confederacy are going to basically betray him. That's what verse 7 is saying. Psalms 83, man. Remember, Esau, Edom, it's not just him that's working against us, right? It's not just him working against us, man. I gotta pull up another fucking, we gotta grab some more priests, right? It's not just Esau that's against the nation of Israel, man. It's all these goddamn nations, man. Micah chapter 4, verse 11. Now, also, many nations are gathered against you that say, let her be defiled. Who's her? The Israelites. Right? We're compared to a woman. And let our eye look upon Zion. So many nations are gathered against us, man. The nation of Israel, you Negroes and Hispanics. Not just fucking Esau, Edom. And we're about to read about this many nations, right? Psalms 83. Right? Verse, let's get to the point. 2. For lo, thine enemies make atonement, and they that hate you, talking to them, right? Let's start at verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace. Right? Don't be quiet. And be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies, the Most High's enemies, make atonement, and they that hate you have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against your people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Right? So they're taking crafty counsel against the Lord's people, man. Right? Trying to cut us off from being a nation, man. And one of those crafty councils was telling us we're Negroes and African Americans and Afro Americans, calling us bywords as it was prophesied, right? In Deuteronomy 28. Goddamn having those people claim they're us. And we're just Gentiles or Canaanites. Most of my people believe they're Canaanites, man. Disgusting. Right? And there's many other different ways they've taken crafty counsel against the Lord's people, but I'm not going to get too deep into that. I'm going to get to the point. But they have consulted together with one consent. For they, multiple nations, right? That's why I read Micah 4:11. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are what? Confederates against you. You see? Who's the first nation listed? The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes, is naming these different nations that are against us. So it's not just the fucking white man, right? It's not just Edom, so-called white man, the Ishmaelites too, which is the Arabs, and the Moab too, the Moabites, which is, the Chinese, right? So it's a bunch of nations, man. The Africans, the fucking Japanese, all right? Every nation, man. Really every nation. Let's just be real. For they have consulted together with one consent. See that? They are confederates against you. You go back to Obadiah 1:7. All the men, remember the Most High is talking to Esau, Edom, all the men of your confederacy, your covenant, your union gathering, have brought you even to the border. They're going to betray them, man. The men that were at peace with you have deceived you and prevailed against you. They that eat their bread have laid a wound, a trap under you. There is none understanding in him. Esau, Edom had no idea. Basically, that's what it's saying. So again, that's, what it's talking about. All your allies will turn against you. They will help you to chase you from your land. They will, help to chase you from your land. They will promise you peace while plotting to deceive and destroy you. Your trusted friends will set traps for you, and you won't even know about it. That's what I mean. There's no understanding in them. You won't know about it. See that? So again, all these fucking nations are against us, man. White man, the Arabs, the fucking Africans. You got them, and of course our people are scattered among all these people. I'm talking about these individuals, from these nations, man. Verse 8, Obadiah 1:8. Shall I not in that day, saith Yahweh, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and understanding out of Mount Esau? Right, so everybody gonna get fucking destroyed, right? The wise men, today that would practically be like the scientists, things of that nature. And thy mighty men, O Teman, which is the Edomite province, Edomite city, shall be dismayed, right? So the mighty men, the men of war of, basically the Edomites, right? They're going to be, when you go to the Hebrew word for dismayed, broken, right? Afraid. So their confidence is going to be broken. They're going to be afraid. They're going to be like women, right? To the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter, death, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob. Shame shall cover you, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So the Edomites are going to be destroyed, cut off forever, because of the dirt they did of Jacob, pursuing Jacob with the sword, man. And which they've been doing that for fucking ever. Amos 1, they kept their wrath forever, man. They kept their anger forever. You better do some digging on what they was doing to us when we came here in America, man. These people have no remorse. And that's written in Ezekiel 35. They had no remorse, man. Isaiah 47:6. They had no remorse. Absolute disgusting hatred for us. But you can't, how much you have to hate somebody to castrate them and then lynch them with their nuts in their mouth? You know how much hatred you have to for somebody to RAP another grown-ass man in front of his family? That is fucking heinous, man. Like, what the and then when we go on the highways and byways and we're yelling, cussing these fucking Edomites out, you saying we're the devil, you saying we're evil. The Israelites are always angry. The Israelites, what else do you niggas say? Are the operators of Satan. But this man has put his man up another man's bottom. And then your fucking punk ass to talk about, that was many years ago. But he still did it, though. You bitch ass nigga. As it is written, man. The Most High requireth that which is past. You fucking pumpkin head. You talking about all we doing is saying cuss words. This nigga actually spilled blood, man. And you defending him. So these niggas of the world are hypocrites, which is why a lot of them are gonna, man, they're gonna fucking die anyway, man. Right? For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover you, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Verse 11 now. Verse 11 and on down, this is basically getting into how, the Edomites helped the Babylonians take us down, right? You know, 586 BC. The Babylonians took us down to specifically the southern kingdom, Jerusalem. The Edomites played a role in it. They helped them and they aided them, man. Right? In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, talking about Jacob's gates, right? And cast lots upon Jerusalem. Even you was as one of them, right? Esau was as one of them, man. Right? But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of your brother. In the day, he's talking about Jacob. In the day, remember, who's the Most High talking to? Esau. He's pronouncing judgment on Esau through Obadiah. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother, in the day that he became a stranger. See, Jacob became a stranger, which proved the strangers in the New Testament are Israelites. How do we become a stranger? Via the scattering. Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. See, they rejoiced over our destruction, man. Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Right? You had the Edomites that, you know, after we were exiled, they started occupying certain of our provinces. I was thinking this to it earlier, right? They started pushing westward into, you know, southern Judah, man. You know, so they started occupying certain of our provinces, all right, of our cities. Yeah, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. That's what the Edomites were doing. They were fucking capturing us, bringing us back to the Babylonians. Right? If there was like an Israelite that may have escaped, the Edomites will hunt us down and bring us back to the Babylonians, or probably kill us himself. Okay? Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. See that? Now, verse 15, even when you go over here, the scholars will tell you is literally verse 15. Everything from verse 15 to the last verse is what? What did they put? The day of the Lord and the future. So they know it's end time prophecy, which it is end time prophecy. So how the fuck do you, and this is why, like I was saying earlier, man, these scholars are confused. They're fucking hypocrites, man. How the hell do they admit to you, right? Verse 15 on down is end time prophecy, the future, the day of the Lord, which is going to come at the thief in the night. But then at the same time, the Edomites disappear from history after saying, man, get the fuck out of here, man. Get out of here, nigga. See that? And if you know prophecy, you can rip and run through that, man. Esau is going to be the last kingdom, right? The kingdom that's supposed to be ruling at the second coming of Yahushua is supposed to be the same people that was ruling at his first coming, which are the Edomites, the Romans. Esau is the end of the world. Esau, the end of the age. He's going to be the last empire ruling, right, before Yahushua's return, right? 1 Corinthians 15:24. Then cometh the end. Then cometh the end when Yahushua shall deliver up the kingdom to the Most High. Wait a minute. Esau is the end of the world. See that? So stop playing, man. Verse 15. For the day of the Lord, which hasn't happened yet, is near upon all the heathen. So all these fucking, because remember, we read Psalm 83, right? All the heathen, all the fucking nations were confederate with Esau, Edom, against the nation of Israel, right? Micah 4:11. Many nations are gathered against us, man. So it wasn't just Esau. All the heathen are gonna get smoked, man. And they all had a hand in our spoils, man. All of them. Psalm 118, right? Psalms 118 and verse 10. All nations compassed me about, but in the name of the Lord, Yahweh Shai, will I destroy them. They compass me about, but in the name of Yahweh Shai, I will destroy them. They compass me about like bees. They are quenched as the fire of thorns. For in the name of Yahweh, I will destroy them. See, we are going to destroy these fucking nations. And not destroy them like, you know, to where they're completely decimated, because they're going to be our goddamn slaves in the kingdom, man. Only nation that's going to be like destroyed off the face of the earth are the Edomites, which I'm about to read about that. Thou hast thrust sore at me that I might fall, but Yahweh hath helped me. Okay? So there you have it. You know? That reminds me of a precept in Psalm 124, but I'm not going to get it. Back to Obadiah 1. Verse 15 again. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. So not just the Edomites going to get smashed up. All the heathen, man. And it says all, too. So how do you match end time prophecy like this hand in hand with an 18 nation salvation doctrine? You can't. You niggas just stumble at the word. As thou hast done what you did, it shall be done unto you. See that? We can't get around it, man. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. All these nations, every single one of them, put us in slavery. Did they not? Did they not break us and oppress us? That's why Yahushua said, he that overcometh, I will give you power to rule over the nations with a rod of iron. Go into the Greek words, man, for rod, for iron, right? It's going to be a very strict, rigid, rulership, man. A dictatorship, man. We're not going to be nice to the heathen, man. We're going to break them like a potter's vessel. It's just there. See? For as you have drunk upon mine holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Right, there's a precept in Jeremiah 25. All nations are going to drink the wine cup of the Lord, that judgment wine. They shall drink, and they shall swallow down. Right, they're going to swallow all that. And they shall be as though they had not been. Right, they shall be as if they were never even existed. So basically, the Most High is going to Micah 5 and 15 the shit out of the heathen, man. Read Micah 5 and 15, man. Okay? He's going to Micah 5 and 15 the shit out. And they're going to be as if they never even existed, man. Right? When he judged them, man. And they shall be as though they had not been. They're going to be like they never existed, man. When he fucking judges them. Let's read that in the NLT. Verse 16 in the NLT. Just as you swallowed up my people on my holy mountain, so you and the surrounding nations, see that, will swallow the punishment I pour out on you. Yes, all you nations will drink and stagger and disappear from history. Unbelievable. Wow. Right? Verse 17. But upon Mount Zion, the Israelites shall be delivered in salvation. Where's the 18 nations salvation for the Gentiles? Where that at? Don't get it. And there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. What does that mean? We're going to take their possessions. We're going to take, their goodies, man. We're going to take their wealth, resources, all the money they have. You see all these different presidents with all the money they got, all these different, niggas that own whatever the fuck, these Edomites, or really all these nations, man, that own whatever they may own, man. Own all these different buildings and all that. Gold and cinnamon, whatever they may have, man. Abundance, right? The banking families, which are, the 48 people, they the one that own the fucking bank. The Federal Reserve. These motherfuckers own oil industries. Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. All that they have, we're going to take it from them, man. Okay? Just point blank period. Verse 18. And the house of Jacob, southern kingdom, shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining in the house of Esau, for Yahweh has spoken it. Now I did my research for what stubble is, right? I want to see if I got an image here. Let me see. Here we go. I have an image of stubble. All right. Now, basically, the Bible uses a lot of parables concerning related to harvest time, and agriculture. All right, so stubble is like the stalks right here left in the field after the grain is harvested. So basically, you gotta do some digging on like agricultural life during that period of time. Even Yahushua, a lot of his parables were agricultural like. So in order to get a better understanding of the parables, you have to understand what agricultural life was like. Right? Study choice of approval, right? You got to get deep in this thing. What's that scripture? Be not ignorant of anything in a little matter or great. Okay? So before harvest, you got wheat on the stalk, all right? And the chaff is like, basically you got the wheat that's inside the chaff. The chaff like the shell around the grain seed, if I'm not mistaken. All right? After harvest, the stubble. So they cut the stalk. They cut that, right? And that's what's left. So that's stubble right there, which is easily burned. That's why the Most High said the Edomites are going to be like stubble, easily burned, man. All right? So let's go back to Obadiah, right? Verse 18. Again, in the house of Jacob, right, the southern kingdom shall be a fire. So that's just parable talk. We're going to be like a fire. In the house of Joseph, which is the northern kingdom sometime called Ephraim, a flame. and the house. And notice it says the house of Jacob, house of Ephraim or Joseph, house of Esau, right? When you go to the Hebrew word for house, bayath, literal descendants. Okay? So how you dumbass scholars out there, how the literal descendants of Esau, Edom, right, in the day of the Lord in the future, as you literally admitted, how they gonna, be stubble, man, for us to fucking destroy? If you're saying they disappeared from nation and from the earth after 70 AD, they all just, I don't know, goddamn got beamed up in a UFO, right? Or just, maybe they all went to what's that shit called, man? Kai's planet. I haven't watched Dragon Ball Z in a long time, man. Maybe they all went to, I forgot the name. I haven't watched that shit in a minute, man. But Goku, sometimes he will instant transmission and go to a different planet, but I forgot the planet was called, man. Maybe they went there. The fuck out of here, man. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, right? Stubble, which is easily burned. And they shall kindle in them. We're going to kindle in them and devour them. We're going to kill them. Simply put, we're going to kill them. And there shall not be, and maybe we will actually light them on fire. Remember, we're going to have spiritual powers, man. Maybe we will burn the shit out of them, or if you want to, use your sword, right? But we're going to devour them. That's the point. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau. Any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh has spoken it. So this is their future. But of course, after they serve their 1,000 years of slavery, man. Remember, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto you. And not the Edomites enslave us, man. The transatlantic slave trade. They ain't answer for that, but they will. In the NLT, the people of Israel will be a raging fire, and Edom a field of dry stubble. You see that? So it's just parable talk, right? So they're going to be like a field of dry stubble, which stubble is easily burned, man. The descendants of Joseph will be a flame, roaring across the field, devouring everything. There will be no survivors in Edom. I, Yahweh, has spoken. And this fucking precepts in Job 18, Job 20, dealing with these Edomites, man. He shall not have neither uncle nor nephew, right? If his children be multiplied with a sword, all of them going to be put out, man. All of them. So that's the point, man. See that? So basically, shortly put, we're going to kill all the Edomites. That's just shortly put. We're going to destroy and kill every single Edomite. We're not going to goddamn start killing them off, and we missed 2 Edomites, right? 2 Edomites were hiding behind a corner. We missed 2 Edomites, and then they go out and start procreating with the woman of the other nations in the kingdom, and the Edomites are born again. And then nope. Every single one of them, we're going to kill them and destroy them off the face of the earth. Verse 19. And they of the south, right? It's talking about what? Technically, the southern kingdom of Judah, right? The Israelites shall possess the mount of Esau, right? We're going to take their land. This precept in Amos 9. And they of the plain, the Philistines, right? They of the plain, it's talking about the Israelites, all right? You can go to Hebrew word for plain in your own time, all right? The Philistines, so we're going to take the Philistines' land too. It's starting to rain. I know you hear that. So we're going to take the Philistines' land too. And they shall possess the fields of Ephraim and the field of Samaria, right? So we can get our land back, right? And Benjamin shall possess Gilead. So essentially, we're going to get our lands back, all right? Because, there was after we took the land of Canaan, we divided the land between the tribes. Verse 20, in the captivity of this host of the children of Israel, right? In the captivity of the children of Israel, right? Shall possess that of the Canaanites. We're going to take the Canaanites' land too, even unto Zarephath. And the captivity of Jerusalem, the children, Jerusalem, the Israelites, which is Sepharad, shall possess the cities of the south, right? So again, get our lands back. And saviors shall come upon. Well, who's the savior? It's plural, right? The saviors are plural. What's the saviors plural? Yahushua and the elect, 144,000, which are all men. And saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau. See that? And the kingdom shall be Yahweh. So why didn't the kingdom come if Obadiah 1 was fulfilled already? See that? So again, and the kingdom shall be the Lord. So that's talking about what? Yahushua and the angels, the saviors, judging the mount of Esau, and the kingdom, the kingdom of heaven, man. It's going to be the Lord's, man. See that? So there we have it, man. See? So all praise. So that's Obadiah, the first chapter, man. All praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Lord be edified. And I know you heard like that fucking literally 28 seconds of hail. That was thick hail right there. That wasn't rain. That was hail. But nonetheless, all praise to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Lord, we need to be next one. Damn, say strong. Shalom, man. Shalom, man.